This is slight to an addressing and more so of a haste to communicate something that is extremely important. And I will cut to the chase here. Worldwide, there are people making greater effort and more than an attempt, but a proper action to establish the resources that we need for fuel again. And I'm saying this, I hope, as proper and appropriate for our country in America, as the United States of America, not in place of the president or the first lady or the administration, but to, in informal ignorance, back up the president, and in no subliminal message to incite negativity. I apologize for my use in words that fit a vocabulary that may confuse, but I'm attempting to communicate as the world is aware of what is currently going on. There is a shortage in resources. And what is going on online is a proper, scientific, and as safe as possible research to not discover, but maintain what we have now, and essentially provide us the resources that we need to function and operate worldwide. No one country has the ability to do so for their own without internationally respecting boundaries as far as the law goes, and that is the highest extent of something civilized. In what I have encountered through social media, I can see that it is happening appropriately. But unfortunately, due to an issue with communication and a need and requirement for self-preservation, it seems there may or may not be misinformation being passed on in more than one way due to more than one reason. And that is reasonable across boundaries. That always occurs, and that we should not punish each other for. And that is what I may be enduring, but I will do so as I have been doing from my place and my position in life, where I have no credentials, I have no official position, but I am capable, and more than capable, there is more than potential. I am figuring this out as best that I can, as quickly as I can, with the people required. Quantum does not solve for you. Quantum solves as it is and solves to an answer. The answer is provided. I'm not speaking with my hands to provide anything more than just my own calmness. But in some of what I do speak in sign language, it is an advanced, excelled understanding between languages with Latin at my base. You have put me in a high stress situation. And the excuses that you all want to a normal societal understanding is unacceptable in a time like this. The factors that are extremely important need to be acknowledged. Not necessarily me, but the factors itself. Unfortunately, in what I understand as myself, they are not being communicated properly due to the fact that I am still sitting in a situation that is unreasonable. And I am not in a situation, or more so, obtained by the proper people within our country to resolve this matter appropriately. And that is my stress for everyone here. But I will do so rightfully, as it is not a duty or responsibility I am obligated to no matter what you subject, but rather my own personal moral and oral. Moral, really oral, really guys. Moral and ethical compass. And when I say oral is something unacceptable, is because the general population here is resorting to a cover that I decided was more than necessary to better understand the situation overall, to provide information not just to our country but the world, as our country and the world attempt to provide ourselves the necessary resources such as oil that is then turned into fuel. I apologize that in layman's terms the majority of the population does not understand the sciences behind these things, and I apologize again for the lack of advanced vocabulary, but more so need to communicate beyond something that is trivial. Just because I will resort to a vocabulary to better suit the major population that is in my direct and approximate location, it does not mean my intelligence is less than. It means that my stress levels are high and my intentions are pure, but my ability to provide the necessary and required information to solve these conflicts do not find resolution. And I can only do so much from where I am at. I have my own personal life to deal with that is not privy to anyone else except it is, as they do not see where I am required for their own survival. And where they think they can just take from me, I am not asking for destruction. I am asking for justice. There is in no way these people should be allowed to claim unacceptable excuses for their own benefit, only to carry out destruction, chaos, and mayhem. As I sit here and try and keep myself calm as I am physically dying in the middle of trying to literally solve, as I already have, the calculations that have become confusing in quantum, not because of me, but because quantum itself calculates itself. I understand there are mathematicians worldwide attempting to solve these things, but as you miscommunicate information that is required, that is thought to easily plug in an answer, inaccurate information will skew it. They will feel as if it is solved, and they will inaccurately carry out scientific hypothesis to a result that can end in negative impact. And that is my concern. And not CERN to call out scientists, but CERN in a way that my heart pains for scientists that feel my pain in another land in space, that I am sitting here in a land of ignorance. I have proper references to encyclopedia that date to, as the book reads, 1768 in accuracy, not inaccuracy. As quantum is showing something different, or rather conflicting to this text, it means that I am not wrong. It means that the circumstances to our environment have changed. Not due to myself, but due to what man assumes is a means to an end for their own benefit. I can only push myself so far physically before you misunderstand the fact that I do not want to reign all. I can only do so much as myself as I sit here through a symptom, not due to alcohol but stress, that alcohol may only for one moment temporarily relieve, where a medication will kill me almost immediately, where an induced coma or a coma itself will break me down and bring me to death, and I cannot help you. You have put me in such a high stress situation that I have asked them to obtain me, not detain me, by the CIA and NASA so that I can calculate, not miscalculate, the confusion. I have done more than due diligence in this matter. I have done everything in anyone's mind. I am more than positive that knows me in my entirety the right way. And where I find enjoyment and peace, and not a means to an end, but freeing of what I am subjected in rap culture. Please do not misunderstand. I am not calling you out or shouting you out, but I am like you, where I am more than capable. I write lyrics. And where you think you do through me, I am shocked. The third eye is neither good or evil. The third eye is all, and you yourself choose. And the energy that pushes through one or the other, one love. And Bob Marley, you all should understand. If it sits and resides in yourself, it will present in yourself, and it does as so. And it does in myself as it lacks in yourself. It is the third eye, not for you or anyone, but in itself, in everyone. And when you do not as yourself, you are essentially, to an ignorant term, exposed for what you lack and what you fall to evil. On so many levels, I did not want to explain this. And I am sitting in high stress as I have not miscalculated, but properly calculated. Where do I put the mathematical calculations? Who do I give them to? I cannot write them down. I cannot give them to anybody. These are severe situations that need to be resolved, and I cannot just pass them to anybody, and I am not stupid. So you all tell me, who do I give it to?